Welcome back, guys. So another week has passed and we are here again. But before we get into doing what analyzing anything, I have a problem I need to address, right? So it's very simple. Now, most of you guys watch only what probably Monday's video, then you not watch Tuesday, right? And we have what 5 days in a week. We have 5 trading days, right? So from Monday here to Tuesday to Wednesday, Thursday to Friday, the 714 method has what different setups for every single day, right? So we have a different setup on Monday, we have a different setup on Tuesday, we have a different setup on Wednesday, we have a different setup on Thursday, and Friday the same thing. Now, most of these days, probably like Monday and Wednesday, we can see similarities or the same setup, right? And some days we can see the same setup on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? On almost all the days, we can even see the same setup. But what I want you guys to do is pay attention to all the days in these videos, right? Because some days are very different, and most of you guys don't watch all of the days, the videos that I've been making about every single day, right? Most of you guys don't watch it, and you end up realizing that some silly trades, some simple trades are going to be hard for you because you don't watch up to those levels, right? Last week on Fridays, or last week on, was it on Thursday or something, like we had this nice different trade. It was a reversal trade. Now this week we have similar trades, very different. A lot of trades that looks like last week trades. So if you see that on last week you did not watch up to that level, you not realize that this week you could have used that same intelligence, right, to do what? To analyze the 714 method and get into the trade, right? So that's just what I want to say. Please try your best and watch the videos from what Monday to Friday, so that you understand the setups, each and every setup or each and every trade, how I took it or how most of your colleagues took it, right? So that you can now be able to do what? Enter into various types of trades, right? So that's just it. So let's dive in. Now, if you look at Monday, we're in a very nice equal trend, right? So we're in an uptrend during the 714 method. Then we landed in a super nice downtrend during the 714 method. At the end of the 714 method, making this an equal trend. And when you see this equal trend, I said that it pretty much means you are going to be in a very simple trade. So you mark this level right here, you mark that level right there. So this level right here is your resistance, and this level right here is your support. If price breaks through this level, you sell. If price breaks through this level, you buy. That's how simple it is, right? So Monday was the simplest trade and the easiest trade, right? And I think Monday was one of the best trades that we had so far this week, right? So let's see how you could have entered. So pretty much simple. This should have been your setup, right? So first of all, let's try our best and mark this level right here. So this should have been your setup. Then you just wait for price to break through this level, right? So this should have been another setup right here. So these two levels, if price breaks through this level right here, you are doing what? You are selling. If price breaks through this level right here, you are buying, right? So let's just see what happened. So as you can see, price broke through this level. So this could have been your entry right here. So your setup should have looked like this. So this right here should have been your setup on Monday. You should have entered into your trade at this level because we broke through that level, right? So it's a very simple thing. Then you put your stop loss. Just when you look at here, there was a fair value gap right here, right? So you put your stop loss just above the fair value gap. That's the simple. Now my TP was at where? Was it 26.14 or something like that? Yeah, so my TP was actually at 26.14, around this level right here. So this was my TP on Monday. You can see that it was a very big trade. It wasn't a small trade, actually. It was a very big trade. So this was my TP, but you could have kept your first TP probably just here, then your second TP will be somewhere here, right? A very simple trade. Now, because I was actually using a big time frame analysis, so that was why my TP was all the way down here, right? So that was just it. Now this should have been your entry on Monday. So let's see what actually happened. So just like that, your trade would have been taking a very simple trade. Now with this fair value gap, even if you had kept your trade inside this fair value gap, it still would have taken, right? My trade was around somewhere here, so I entered into the trade very early, right? So I was already in the trade around somewhere here, but you could have also gotten in the trade around here. So let's see whether your first TP could have been hit. So if your first TP could have, if your first TP was around somewhere here, probably 1:2, it could have gotten hit pretty much easy. Even if it were to be 1:3, right? It could have still gotten hit. Now my first TP was actually very far. So, but eventually we got it right. I mean, eventually we got it. As you can see, we got it pretty much simple. So as you can see, your TP could have been hit if you were also using a bigger time frame analysis. But if you are using a smaller time frame analysis, your first TP could have been 1:2. This could have been your 1:2. Then your second TP could have been 1:4, which would have also gotten hits, right? A pretty simple trade. So on Monday, that was it. So this is what I'm saying. Now, you see that on Monday, we had a very simple trade, right? Now, Tuesday might be different. So that's why it's always good for you to do what? Check out all the days, the videos, the days, right? So that you understand each and every day how we did it or how we entered into trade that made us that made it a good trade or that made us a lot of money, right? So that's just by the way. Let's move to Tuesday and see what happened. So when you look at Tuesday, we're in a consolidation at first, right? So on Tuesday, we're in a consolidation at first. We came down, went up, we came down, but just at the end of the 714 method, we'll push all the way up high, right? Now, I've said this before. When you are trading the 714 method and the trend is not going according to it, don't trade the 714 method. Use the reversed method, right? So what is the reverse method? Let's look at this. For instance, we're in a downtrend, a pretty much simple downtrend, right? Price broke through that downtrend, retested it again twice, right? Before we push all the way up, meaning that this trend right here was not respecting the 714 method, right? So indirectly, the buyers were coming in huge. And if the buyers are coming in huge, you do what? You trade according to the trend, not according to the 714 method, meaning you reverse the 714 method, right? These are things that you should look out for whenever you are going to use the reverse 714 method, right? Fair value gap is pretty much consistent. Whenever we are using a reverse 714 method, there's a fair value gap that we are going to take a trade on. That's how simple it is. It is a very simple thing, right? So that's how it is. Now we used the reverse 714 method on Tuesday, and most of you guys who have been watching only Monday videos, only Tuesday videos, on the previous videos I've been posting, you wouldn't have realized this because on last week, was it on Thursday or was it on Wednesday, we had this same trade, right? But it was a downtrend. We actually moved down, but it was the same reversal that we used and we got pretty much very good trade, right? So that's how it is. Now we should have used this fair value gap right here, right? So when you move forward, you realize that was a fair value gap right here and price was just pulling in to do what? To retest it. So as you can see, you could have used this fair value gap right here. If price pushed into that fair value gap, you are entering into a trade, right? So your setup could have just been this way, a pretty much simple setup, right? So this right here should have been your setup on this right here should have been your setup on Tuesday, with your stop loss just below the fair value gap. If price enters into this fair value gap, you are entering into the trade and you are using either this level or that level as your TPs, right? So you could have used this level right here as your first TP and you eventually use this level right here as your second TP, right? If you are someone who enters into 3 trades, then you use the last high as your third TP. So that was how simple it was. You could have just gotten into this trade and you are good to go, right? A very simple trade. Now when we entered into this trade, what happened? It was just a very simple thing. Price actually took our trade just within some couple of minutes. As you can see, price just took the trade instantly, right? And we pushed all the way up. It wasn't a big deal. It was just a very small trade. So as you can see, our first TP was hit, right? Look at it, our first TP was hit. Then you pull your stop loss all the way up to break even, so that in any case price moves back into this stop loss, is going to kick you out at break even, right? It's not going to probably hurt your trade or something, but it will just kick you out as break even. So as you can see, price came all the way down, kicking us out as break even. But at this moment right here, when you look at this level right here, that was a change of character. You could have gotten out of the trade, right? So that's how simple what Tuesday was. A very simple trade. You could have used the reverse 714 method, because when you look at this, a consolidation and a push up, that means the buyers were more than the sellers. Indirectly we're in an uptrend during the 714 method, right? So that's just it on Tuesday. Let's look at Wednesday and see what happened. So on Wednesday, as you can see, when there was an equal trend, right? A very nice equal trend. On Wednesday, when an equal trend, right? So, and when we are in an equal trend, we mark our highs and our lows, right? So we mark this level right here, pretty much simple. Then we mark the topmost part as well, right? If price break through, either way, we are doing what we are entering into the trade, right? So this is what we do as usual. If we are in an equal trend, this is what we always do, right? But on Wednesday, things actually changed, and it was a very simple thing if you were actually analyzing the trend, and it would have been very, very hard for you if you weren't analyzing the trend as well, right? So this was it right here. If you weren't analyzing the trend, you would have entered a buy if price breaks through here, or you would have entered a sell if price breaks through this level. But you wouldn't have known where price actually wants to go, and you wouldn't have known where pressure is, right? So you would have just been blinded, and you enter into trade that you don't know, leading to a very nice loss. So I want you guys to permit me just some little minutes to explain this to you on my trading view, right? So on my charts, my main charts, let me explain this to you just some few minutes, right? So if we look at this was Wednesday, right? This was Wednesday 714 method right here. This right here was Wednesday 714 method. Let me just use this ring. So when you look at this right here was Wednesday 714 method, right? So as you can see, most of people wouldn't have realized that during the week we're in this nice consolidation right here. So as you can see, we're in this nice consolidation. This was a nice support. We went up, resisted from this fair value gap right here, came back down to this support, resisted there, went all the way up to the fair value gap again, resisted, making this a very tough high, right? Came all the way up to it again, resisted again. So when you realize something during the 714 method, despite we're in an uptrend, or despite we're in an equal trend, even if price has done what? Even if price had broken through that level, that's equal trend, meaning we're going to buy, right? Even if price had done that, I wouldn't have still bought around this level until price closes above here. And when you look at this candle right here, that was a news candle. There was just news immediately after that was the 714 method. So this has been tested once, twice, thrice. So we are looking to see a very serious bullish trend. If this bullish candle close above here, then you now buy and move all the way up, right? But if it doesn't close above it and you see a very serious bearish move all the way down, or selling pressure, you know that price is not going up, price is coming down. It's going to respect that high right here and drop, right? So when you look at this, for instance, you realize that around this level you could have entered into a trade. So we actually got into a trade around this level. We came all the way down to here, then got out of the trade because this right here was also a very nice support level. So you have to get out of the trade, see what price will do next. Now the next thing price will do is, if you were in a trade that was 5 or 0.5 or 0.1, then you now use a bigger lot, because at that moment you are sure that price is either going down or price is going up, right? So that's just it. We got into the trade around this level right here, came all the way down, got out of the trade. Price did this retracement, came all the way back down, then broke to this level. Then we entered high here, right? So this short trade just from here, even though it wasn't that short, right? But this trade right here, from here all the way down to this level, it made me over 72k, right? So that's what we call doubling down. You take your time, then find an entry, a very serious move, then you do what? You enter your maximum size, and price will give you a very high profit, right? So that's just it. Let's go back and let me explain how you could have gotten into the trade, right? So as I was saying, if we are in an equal trend, we mark these levels, right? This top right here and this down right here, pretty much simple. So if price breaks through here, we do what? We buy. If price breaks through here, we sell, right? Simple. But because all the way up here we're in a what, a very nice consolidation up there. So when you look at this level right here, because we're in a consolidation, price was testing this high, testing that high, testing this high, right? So we should have marked this level right here. If price did not break through that level, we are not doing what? We are not entering inside any buys around this level, right? So until price breaks through this level, when you push it all the way back to the fair value gap right here, so this was the fair value gap, right? So until price breaks through this level, we are not doing what? We are not entering any buys until price breaks through this level, and we are not entering any sells until price breaks through this level right here. So this is how it is. If price breaks through this level, then we enter a buy. Probably price will go up just a little bit, retest, then we enter a buy on what? This break of structure right here. Equally, price could do what? Reverse all the way down to this level, break through, then we enter a sell right here, right? So that's how simple it was. If you were analyzing the trade, you could have understood that even if price breaks through this level, you are still not entering into a trade until it goes above this, right? So that's just how you should have done it. So let's see what actually happened. So as you can see right here, price did what? Price just had this nice move into the middle point of this small trend, this small uptrend, right? As you can see, and the news came in and do what? Price pushed all the way up through this fair value gap right here, but close below it, meaning price was respecting the fair value gap, right? When a fair value gap is respected like this, or when a resistance is respected like this, it hardly happens that price was push all the way back up again, right? So you could have used this level right here as your entry. If price breaks through this level again, you are doing what? You are entering into a sell, or you could have still just maintained this level right here. If price comes all the way down to this level right here and break through, then you enter a sell, right? So that's how simple it was. So as you can see, price went all the way back into the resistance again, but couldn't actually go through. So you could have gotten into your trade when price started dropping, right? So as you can see, price dropped. You could have gotten into your trade on this break of structure right here. You could have gotten into your trade at this level, right, with your support just above this level right here. So this should have been your what? So this could have been your setup. If you look at here, you realize there's another fair value gap right here. So you shouldn't have put your stop loss right here, because price can easily just move to this fair value gap right here, right? So this should have been your setup. Then you have your if you are using 2:1, right? So your ratio should have been, if this is actually 1:1, then 1:2, probably 1:3, right? So that's just it. So this is how your setup should have been. And if you realize, or if you had been in that trade, you realize that price actually moved all the way down, right? Price came all the way down, and we were still going down. Even at this moment, we still push all the way down. As you can see, price was still pushing down, right? So this, you could have been in this trade if you had known about this right here, if you had known about this. But if you did not, you could have just entered into a trade right here. Price will push all the way up. You think price was moving into an uptrend or into a very serious uptrend, then price will reverse all the way back on you again, right? So this is the power of what analyzing a trend. This is the power of analyzing a trend. When you analyze the trend, you know when to enter and when to exit. So please, I've always said it. That's why the 714 method have been what actually good to us these past few days. Just try your best and do what? analyze the trends before you enter into the trade, right? So that's just it on what Wednesday. So let's go to Thursday and see what happened. So we're in a very nice uptrend. Now, initially we'll be looking to be in a very nice downtrend, right? After that, now I've always said this: if price doesn't want you to do what, to enter into a trade, normal 714 method trade, it will give you a reverse trade, right? Now, if you watch the video on Tuesday, you realize that on Tuesday and Thursday we actually use the same reverse method, right? It was a very nice trade. Now, most of you guys did not get it, but it was a very nice trade because when there's a lot of buying pressure, just go to the 15-minute time frame. Is one of the simplest time frame that you can get fair value gaps, right? So when you look at this, you would have realized that there was a fair value gap right here, and if price move into it and respect it, now you can wait to see whether price will respect the fair value gap before you actually get into a trade. Or if you're someone like me who knows about the reverse 714 method, when price is moving to the fair value gap, I'm already going to be in the trade, right? Now, usually I'll do what? I can enter into the trade on two different places, right? So first, I can be in the trade at the tip of the fair value gap, or what, at the middle point of the fair value gap. That is 50% of the fair value gap, right? So either way, you are still going to be in a trade using the fair value gap. So you could have entered your trade. This right here should have been your entry. So this right here should have been your entry on what, Thursday, right? A very nice entry on Thursday. This right here should have been your entry. Despite we're in an uptrend, the trend wasn't favoring the downtrend that you initially enter when you are using the 714 method, right? Because it says that when we are in an uptrend, you do what, you sell, right? But I came out with the reverse 714 method. That's to save us from selling when price is buying. So despite the trend say that you should sell, no, you shouldn't have sold here because you know that the trend is not favoring the sell at the moment, right? So that's just it. We had a very nice what, break of change of character right here. So this should have been your setup on Thursday, a very nice setup. If price push into this fair value gap, then to take your trade. Now you could have used this level right here as your first TP, then you use this level right here as your second TP. Now your third TP could have been this high right here around this level. So this should have been your trade or your setup on what, Thursday. A very nice setup, right? So let's see what happened. So as you can see, price retraced back into the fair value gap. It would have taken most of us who kept our trade at the tip here. It could have taken it. Most of us who also kept our trade probably in the middle point of the fair value gap, price would have managed to reach it too as well, right? So as you can see, just within some couple of minutes, your first TP could have been hit, then your second TP could have been hit, right? If you're someone who entered into 3 trades, you could have kept your third TP here, but at the moment you pull it all the way to break even, so that even if price push all the way back into it, you are still in profit, right? So that's just by the way. As you can see, price was still doing was still pushing all the way up. So you still could have been in this trade all the way up, right? But if I were you, I would have gotten out of the trade around this level right here. Simple as that, and I'll be free to go, right? So that's just it on Thursday. Let's go to Friday and see what happened. So as you can see, on Friday we're in an uptrend, right? We're in a very nice uptrend. And if we're in an uptrend, we look forward to being a very nice downtrend after the 714 method manifestos, right? So when you look at this, you realize that during the beginning, we're just having this short buys at this moment. Then we started pushing up around this level, but price push all the way down to almost that level again, right? But still, that was just an uptrend. So but I was actually waiting for price to break through this level right here. I was waiting for price to break through this level right here. Then I'll do what? I'll enter into my sell without hesitating. But if price actually break through this level right here, I'll enter into a buy as well, right? That was how it is. So on Friday was actually the most annoying day of the whole week, right? Just not even because of this 714 method, but on Friday I just don't understand. There wasn't enough buyers, there wasn't enough sellers. Price was just too stubborn, right? Price was just too stubborn on Friday. So that was just it. Now, if you are traded on Friday, you realize that price actually broke through this level, right? If you look at it, you realize price broke through this level. I got into a trade, but immediately after that, price reversed. As you can see, price reversed, making this what, this huge yet very very nice what change of character right here. So I got out of the trade. My stop loss was actually somewhere here, so I got out of the trade. It did not kick me out, but I got out, but I was still in what losses, right? So I got out of the trade, and I got into a buy at this moment because this right here was a very nice bullish candle, right? And this right here was a change of character, so I got into a trade at that moment. So my distance was this right here. I got into a trade around somewhere here, right? Price actually pushed all the way back, so my trade was around somewhere here at the change of character. Then my first TP was here. Now the reason why I actually got into the trade wasn't because I actually needed price to move all the way up, but it was because I just wanted to break even on what I lost with this nice move around this level, right? So price actually came back to it, took my trade, then we pushed all the way up. As you can see, we pushed all the way up to my first TP, breaking me even on the loss that I got. And that was it. I did not get into any trade again because price was just consolidating, frankly speaking, for the whole day. Price was just consolidating. After this whole move right here, this move was just the best moves that we got on Friday. The rest, price was just consolidating, and it was pretty much annoying. So I just said I know I wouldn't be in any trades at this moment. Probably that will be next week. So as you can see, we're just in this same level, consolidating all day long, right? So that was just it on Friday. Now you guys should understand, please just try your best and analyze the trend, right? Let's go to a bigger time frame, like a 30-minute time frame or a 45-minute time frame. Just make some simple analysis right over there before you actually get into a trade using the 714 method. Even if it's giving you a clear entry, right? Just try your best and analyze it. When you analyze it, you learn three things. One, where to put your stop loss. Two, where to put your take profit. You end up realizing that most people can be in a 714 method probably around here, then their stop loss will be just here, which is fine, right? But their take profit will also be somewhere here, right? Or somewhere here. Then I'll later post a video of that same move and you realize that my stop loss was at the same place that they were, but my take profit was initially probably somewhere down here, right? So you see the difference. That's because you analyze a bigger time frame. You know that this level right here is not good for what price to reverse. So indirectly price wouldn't reverse from here. Price will want to drop all the way down to this level to now reverse. So why do you end up doing what? Getting out of the trade right here. So they will take their first profits right here, their second take profit will be here, and my first take profit will be here, my second take profit will be here. So you see the difference in volume, right? So just try your best and be analyzing trends at least just a little bit, even if you don't know how to do it that much, right? So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.